Hi, I'm Lucy, and I would like to know, if you get to the final of all three competitions, which one would you like to win most?
Yeah, hello Lucy. Well, in answer to your question, first of all, it would be nice if we could get into all three finals. Hopefully we're on course to do that. But I think initially, obviously, the Elite League is the most important in our calendar, maybe followed by the KO Cup and then the British League Cup. But if you're a Pirates fan, you'll know that we're going to be going all out to win all three trophies. So fingers crossed, Lucy.
Yeah, hi, I'm Phil. I just wanted to ask Matt and Mike's opinion on perhaps moving to a sort of squad system, or whether that would be a possibility within the British League, whichever format we take up next year, particularly in respect of all the injuries that we've had this coming season. I know it works in other countries, and I think it's something that would give the fans certainly the ownership of the riders, instead of having to get the guests in all the time and replacements. So I'd just like to know what his thoughts are on that.
Yeah, hello Phil. Yeah, it's a very good point actually. This is one of the things that's been tried, of course, in this British League Cup competition, this squad system. In a certain degree it works very, very well, and obviously it would cover for injuries, and it would be nice to obviously get rid of the guest rider rule. The only thing, of course, is that supporters do demand to see the top riders, and that's one of the reasons that we continue to use the guest rule, is that people want to see the top riders all the time. But I think the time is coming when squads will come in to a certain degree. As I say, it has been done this year with the British League Cup, and I can see it progressing through to the Elite League within the next year or so. So to answer to your question is, yes, I'd be happy to see squad systems, and I think you get far more commitment out of the riders if they just have allegiance to one team.
Hi Mike, just interested to know, will there be more access to the pits basically, especially with the little ones? 2 seasons ago, my little son here, Callum, met Tony Ricardson face to face, had his race jacket signed, meant the world to him. The last 2 seasons, we are season ticket holders, he hasn't been able to meet the riders or get anywhere near the riders, and it's very disappointing for adults, let alone the little ones who we hope are the future of this sport.
Yeah, hello Tony. Yeah, it's nice to know that you and your son are that interested, that you want to get close to the riders. And I think in Speedway you can probably get closer to the sportsmen than you can in a lot of other sports. But we have had new health and safety regulations, which mean that we've not allowed to have the public roaming freely around the pits, although we still try and keep a section of the pits open up until just before 7 o'clock. It has proved more difficult. The riders are not happy about supporters getting too close to their equipment, and of course we do have this health and safety thing that when they're fitting tyres, changing sprockets, and then of course once they start the engines up, it's strictly forbidden for anyone to be anywhere near the pit area. We still think the riders are pretty accessible before and certainly after the meeting, so if you want to get your autographs in particular, a lot of supporters congregate over near the changing rooms, so as the riders cross the track they're more than welcome to stop for young supporters, sign autographs and have their photographs taken. But mostly, unfortunately, it's down to health and safety regulations that even down here at Poole, where we tried to make the pits very accessible, we've had to just cut back a little bit. But we'll again review what regulations we're governed by during the winter, and you can be assured that if we can do anything for the younger supporters, we will try and do it for them.
Well, our thanks go to Mike and all of those who have taken part in the video box this evening. That just about brings this edition to a close. But before we do go, Graham, it's been an interesting few matches that we've seen, all of them this time in the British League Cup. I think it's been a bit of a revelation even.
Well,
Nearly said that.
Sure you're right, yes, yes, a revelation indeed, and quite a lot to digest in this competition. We've seen some emerging superstars coming in, like Antonio Limbach, who's taken all the headlines following his introduction here at Wimborne Road in the Exeter match. We've seen some new, previously untried youngsters, so we've had a real varied diet of racing, and I think it's also been interesting to see that the crowds for the British League Cup have been very, very encouraging here, so it'll give the promoters something to think about in terms of how we put together a season here. And as we come towards the close, with Poole in with a chance not only of obviously the Elite Championship and the KO Cup, but also in the British League Cup. A lot of effort has gone into getting this far in the competition, and I'm sure it's going to capture the public imagination if we can get through to the finals of that competition as well.
Now, I guess really we have to think about the future next year. There's lots of speculation that we may not see the Grand Prix riders back in Britain, and of course the British League Cup could be a diet of racing that we'll see a lot more of next term.
Yes, well, I think we've nothing to fear from a varied diet of racing here, as has been proved this year. And every winter we seem to be saying, as we approach the close season, that there are a lot of question marks about what sort of racing we're going to get here. I think the one thing that we can be sure of at Wimborne Road is that the promoters, Matt and Mike here, are very progressive and will always be looking to give us the very best of Speedway. So whatever is going on in the sport in the UK next season, it will be the very best.
Well, absolutely, and if you've missed any of the racing so far, and particularly if you haven't seen the British League Cup live, then you can catch up with it all here on Pirate Videos. That does bring our edition to a close, and as the bikes warm up here in the pits for the next meeting, you'll have to join us to see how the Pirates get on. Until then, from Rob, from Graham, and from myself, Nigel Leahy, good evening, and we hope to see you on Pirate Videos very soon.